Guys like Deuce Robinson and Squirrel White so important for you guys to get in here as more experienced veteran transfers?
Yeah, just what you said. I think that experience, we really needed that in our room. We got a lot of young guys that have great potential, and they've done some things since they've been here to show that, exactly what we thought we'd get out of them, but they haven't really played a lot. So to have some guys like them who've been out there at this level and has, some level of success, it's really big for us. So, and they've done just that, coming here, showing our younger guys of how to work, how to study, how to be locked in on details and small things. Our young guys have really looked to them for leadership, and they've given us that.
I presume the answer is different for both of them, but what is it about each of them that fits a Gus Malzahn type of offense?
Well, Deuce is a big, physically imposing guy. You watch him come out on the field, I'm sure you're going to see he looks how you want him to look. And he's going to present a lot of one-on-one situations for us that we're going to feel really good about. He's trying to improve his game technically every day to make him consistent in that area. And then Squirrel, what he brings to the table is speed guy that can stretch the defense, and he can do some things with the ball in his hands. And, what we do in our offense is going to fit them great.
What have you seen from the young guys, particularly that didn't maybe play a lot last year, but have a lot of potential?
I've seen a lot of growth, and all those guys. You see the eagerness to them. Like you come in as a freshman, you all have the mindset of we want to play early. Then you get to college and things, they're going really fast. You don't realize of what you don't know. I think those guys now being here a year and knowing what the expectations are, you're seeing them really turn over. So, I've been really pleased with them, and that's really all of them. Lawayne and Elijah, and even BJ's doing both sports, Makai's doing both sports, but just their eagerness to want to be a part of what's going on here. It's good. Jalen Brown's taking some steps. So you've seen that from all of our young guys, man. And again, I can't wait till we get to Wednesday to really get going, and you'll see the guys that'll be able to come back-to-back days sometime and, do all those little things when it matters.
The decision to move Makai to receiver full-time, what kind of went into that for you guys, and why does it fit the role?
Well, being honest, it really happened before I got here. I just think evaluating, his body type and what he can do, especially when Coach Malzahn got here, what we do on offense with a guy with that kind of skill set, he really fits that. And it takes him out of some areas that he's probably not strong in when you talk about playing from the backfield. So just trying to use him to his strengths and put him in the best situations to be successful. So I think it's going to be really good there, though.
I presume Hakeem Williams is someone you were familiar with as a high school kid. What is it about Hakeem that makes him such a promising player, and what does he have to do to get there?
First of all, I think he's done a really good job with his leadership of the group, just making sure that he's showing up every day, handling his business the right way. It's something that our younger players have been able to look to. I feel like he's evaluated his game and knows the kind of player that he has to be to maximize, himself as far as within our offense, and he's done that. He's going to be a dirty work type guy that can, put himself in the right positions to have success in a lot of different ways. You see him, his route running is improving, his ability to block on the perimeter has been great, and he's also continuing to work on his downfield receiving skills too. So I've been pleased with Hakeem.
Through the years, Florida State's had some success with receivers blocking, and sometimes, like last year, maybe that was an issue at times. What's the key to get better at that?
It's the mindset of the group. As a receiver coach, a lot of people, they like to kind of hold back on talking about something like that because you feel like it makes guys say, is coach just expecting us to be that? But for you to be successful in our offense and at this position, that's something you're going to have to be able to show that you can do at a high level. And when you can do that, showing that you're a tough, gritty guy to help the overall offense go, your ability to get the ball and do the things that you want with the ball in your hand, they're going to come because you'll be out there a lot more. So, just the mindset of our group and pushing that we're going to be a tough physical group. We're going to be a group that affects the game even when we don't have the ball in our hands. So,
what's it been like for you getting to know the guys that are already here in your room?
It's been great. A lot of them I knew already because they're, kids from our state. You recruited them at some point. And the guys that I didn't know, it's been really good too, just getting to know their stories, why they hear what their goals are. But we have a really easygoing group. I was just telling someone over there, when you have a group outside of Deuce and Squirrel who played a lot at their last schools, but the group that we had here are guys that are still eager to kind of scratch the surface and make their way as college football players. So when you have guys that are still at that phase of wanting to grow, wanting to develop, haven't had that success yet that they may want, they're ready to buy in. And that's what's been really good with our group. They've really bought into what we're asking them to do, and they're pushing themselves every day to continue to improve.
It seemed like some different people had different opinions of Javon, what he could be in college. Why were you so sold on Javon?
Oh man, just his overall mentality. You know, sometimes you turn on the tape and you watch a guy, and for him, for the last 2 years in our state and one of the better classifications, he's been dominant. And you can look sometimes and try to figure out why not to take a guy, or he may not be as fast as this guy, but you watch him against anybody that he's played, he's had a lot of success, and you just watch that over and over again. Then you get to bring him in and you meet with him, and everything about Javon Boggs is he has goals that he want to reach, and he handles himself that way every single day. Some young men you talk to and they tell you things, but how they operate don't align with that. Everything that he talks about wanting to do, the way that he handles himself aligns with that. So I've been very pleased. We've all been very pleased with him as a freshman just getting here. He and Gelsey too. I don't mean to get off topic, but both our young high school guys that came in this semester, they've done a really good job of handling themselves with maturity.
You said, you know, Deuce and Squirrel, those guys want to be leaders.
Yep.
But with a guy like Javon, some of those young guys, you see that they want to be followers. They want to be led.
Yeah, like when you talk about a work ethic like Deuce Robinson, he came here, he got, you know, everything about him was, coach, I was probably the number 3 option at my last place. I want to come here and show all of college football that I can be a featured guy. And he got here, and it was all about work for him. And Javon Boggs, you know, being a young guy that get here, he attached to his hit. And that was something that I didn't push him to do it as a coach. He's just watching an older guy and how Deuce was working, and he said that's the guy that I want to kind of attach myself with as a young guy. And you've seen the both of them grow throughout our all-season program that same way.
I think Gelsey's listed at 235 now.
Oh, yeah.
What allows him to stay at receiver at that size?
Man, his movement skills are super impressive. Like when you look at the weight on the list, and even as myself, I'm like, man, he's pretty heavy. Like, but you watch him move in our agility mat drill program. Oh, he moves as good as any guy that we got in that room. I mean, like, it's impressive. It's really impressive. So his movement skills, him being able to do it at that weight, like, hey, I don't see it being a problem at all. You know, I sure hope it don't. Coach Thompson, he might joke with me that he hope it don't work out, but Gelsey's gonna be just fine, man. And I'm really excited to watch him this spring.
Jordan Scott's recruitment preceded your time here, but what stands out about him beyond just being very long and tall?
Yeah, he's a guy that's developing every day. You can see, like, he, you know, coming from JUCO, you know, you see the adjustment process that he has when he get here, and then he's done a good job as the all-season program is gone, just making sure that he's doing the right things to keep his body on track, to stay on the field and all that. He's done a better job with that, probably compared to when he first got here. But I've been pleased with just his ability of, you know, his attitude being the right way every day. You know, now that he knows what the expectations are from us, he's adjusted really well, and, you know, I think it's happening at the right time with spring practice around the corner.
What's the most important thing for your group between March 19th and then April 21st when they reach that finish line in spring football?
Well, just getting better every day. You know, that's the mantra of what we talk about in our program, period, being your very best every day. And that's where I want to make sure our guys hold themselves to that standard of showing up every day, because when practice starts, you know, you're not going to feel your very best. You're not going to feel as good as you felt in practice 1. But when you get into practice 10 and 11 and your body's starting to bother you a little bit, can you push yourself past that tough point and continue to improve? And that's what I want to see. By practice 15, us playing at our absolute best. And if we do that, we're doing our part and setting ourselves up to be a featured part of this offense.
Lewayne was a guy that had a lot of hype coming out of high school, and I'm sure he and Elijah and those guys you mentioned didn't have as much opportunities as they were hoping for. But in terms of their attitudes, like confidence, what are you seeing from them going into year 2?
I see great confidence. I think that was a great word for you to use, because that's what I see from them every day. You can tell that they've been in college now for a year, and they know what the expectations of the program are. They know what we're asking them to do. Me, from a position coach standpoint, Coach Malzahn, as far as the overall offense, they're understanding that. So when they understand what the expectations are, they put a lot more into the preparation. And when you're prepared, you can go out there and play with a lot more confidence, and that's what you're seeing from those guys right now.